Stand by.
Gotcha.
The bitches, they love visuals.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Welcome to Sergeant's Time. This is WTF Nation Radio's Sergeant's Time on Thursday with me, Ice, and Great Cloud. Wow, this is kind of cool having like the old Sergeant's Time alum hanging out.
I know.
What's up with that, man?
I feel
yeah, I feel privileged. You're coming back. I mean, I feel like, so you left and now you. Well, I mean, Minx is better looking than me, so I understand. You know.
Well, yeah, it's scheduled, school.
No, I hear you. And of course, we have rocking the front desk is other Sergeant Spanks, and hanging out.
Good evening.
Yeah, how you doing? And then we obviously this is 31 May. God, it's already the 31st of May.
Yeah, don't remind me.
God, dude, because you know what tomorrow is? Payday. Tomorrow's payday. You want to get some pay? And it's a Friday. So it's Friday and it's payday. That's what I'm talking about. Oh.
Watch the blotter, nation. Watch the blotter.
Wait, dude, I am all up, man. I am all about hanging out and, just doing stuff. Deal. Yeah, smashing. Indubitably. So, so this is the 31 May edition of Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio, broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. We are here to talk about, I don't know, drama, and we're here to talk about intrigue. We're here to talk about international travel and not traveling, and of course, there was 3 things that I had on my mind to talk about the most, and that was, well, shit. Let me, you know what? Actually, let me just talk about a main page subject here that's currently being broadcast, that's being tracked right now. Currently, your brothers and sisters overseas are in a big cruise ship right now called Kuwait.
Oh, the non-deployment, yes.
Yes, the not so favorite non-deployment of Kuwait. So if you guys don't know if you guys don't know anything about the norovirus, I always see that on the Carnival cruise ship stuff, right?
Yeah.
So no big deal, right? Well, then all of a sudden, hey, let me just go ahead and cue it in. Hang on.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
My name Jose. Jose.
All right, so Jose's back, and he said he was lucky to get out of there alive.
Wow.
He said,
hold on. Is that because he was being hunted or for other reasons?
No, actually, he was actually in the AO, just doing AO stuff. And what's up, Alan? And what's up, Alex? Hey, dude. What's up, Eric? Erica? Wow, man, we got some new faces in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool. And Kara Coprale, hey, what's going on? And so he escaped. He escaped with his life. With several rolls of toilet paper, too. So there's a couple of porta potties. So if you guys were in Kuwait and didn't quite make it to the porta potty in time, then that's on you. So there's been an outbreak of norovirus in Kuwait. And apparently some nasty asses not washing, because you got to get the norovirus. You literally have to, I don't know, not wash your ass and hands. Or actually, it's when you wash your ass and you forget to wash your hands after you wash your ass, or you take care of such ass while you're deployed. So Jose, he's in Kuwait doing the deal, hanging out, sweating his ass off, wearing all his protective gear because it was viruses that at the time he was there, it was like 96 hours. 60 personnel was affected with the norovirus. It's contagious, can affect anybody, and it's passed through. Go ahead.
No, I was going to how many in 96 hours?
It was over 60 personnel. Obviously for OPSEC reasons, we can't get specifics. Right. Once it passed over 60, you're just like, damn.
Yep.
So as the comments have said in the main page, there you go. We obviously have had. This is awesome. So we've obviously have had issues washing our ass in an area that's not supposed to be a deployment. Because usually you get those types of disease while you're deployed. Dysentery, salmonella. But when there's a hard stand building that's there, Arsent Forward,
with running water.
It's like normal civilization. Well, if you want to call Kuwait civilization, but as civilized as you are used to on a normal fixed installation. And the norovirus, it lasts like 3 or 4 days. And it's a pretty how can I say this, resilient disease, virus. I guess it's a virus, and it's passed through contaminated food and water, or just touching a contaminated surface.
You're looking at the CDC website too.
Yeah. I'm looking at the CDC website. I'm like, dude. Jose said he was like literally fucking running to the airport, trying to get the fuck out because he knew what was happening next. Once it goes into fucking specific zones of what he calls Q time or quarantine.
Yep.
Then everything's locked down. So those people that are actually trying to go home, that were like leaving to go home, but as soon as you hear that, you ain't going home. As a matter of fact, don't even talk to me. Don't touch. You know what I mean? So now all of a sudden hand sanitizer is like being fucking. It's almost like at that point it's too late. That's like using a condom after you've had unprotected sex with somebody who has HIV. You're kind of like, fuck it. You might as well just keep going. Yeah, exactly. Might as well just enjoy the ride.
But Here's my big thing about that, right? You said handing out that shit is free over there anyway.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's
Fucking any aid station, you can get free hand sanitizer unless they change that.
yeah, exactly. It's pretty much everywhere. Exactly, Joe. Specific zones and quarantines of excellence. Exactly.
Yeah. Wait, it's not a place of excellence.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like dudes. So anyway, so he is running. He's like, I gotta fucking get out of here. And we were getting some not frantic, but concerned texts from our man JT. And the next thing you know, he finally was able to. He said he just left his gear. He said, "Fuck this, I am out." Demanded more pay, yada yada yada, to HQ, and because we send Jose to the craziest places. So, anyways, this is not over. It's spreading. So so not only did it stop people from going home in Arcent, but now Arcent decided to establish quarantine. Now all of a sudden they want to get tactical. See, I think this is a one-time Seaburn guys and decon guys are going ape shit. You know what I mean? They're like looking at that decon machine. Actually, they're trying to probably look for the goddamn thing. And it's been
buried in the Connex.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's buried in the Connex, or it's been the local TMP vehicle wash because it's a high pressure washer. And so everyone's like, what are we doing with this? And yeah. So they started showing these symptoms, and of course, if you're part of that or have any sense of, or you got bubble gut, you ain't going anywhere. You're not leaving at all. And you're quarantined the fuck down. So as Jose said, that he had a buddy contracted the virus, and he said it was the worst of the worst Taco Bell experience he's ever had. Which I'm surprised. Jose hangs out with people who eat Taco Bell, but he says even on the go, sometimes some fake tacos, I guess, are better than no tacos. And now everything like small morale packages and everything are being thrown into the Q zone. So basically, so like there's a fence where everyone's cordoned off, and the USO wearing a bunch of masks and shit are running over by the fence and just tossing it over the fence.
Oh my god,
that's fucking crazy, dude.
It's like,
oh, hang on.
oh
no. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air.
Hey, listen, I've just got a real quick comment. Did you guys see the racist slur that this VA rep in Tampa had posted on her Facebook?
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh?
Effing white privileges. Yeah, it's big news down here in Florida right now.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, PM that shit to the page.
You might, just Google, or you don't have to Google. Just search in
Cortana, find racist VA.
Facebook. yeah, I think that's how I found it. Actually, I heard it on the news at home. But if you type in something like VA racist remark in Tampa or something like that, you may find it.
Really? Wow. Well, I'll have to track that down.
and
I'll have to point that out.
And now they've got now they're not even they're saying they're going to send her to counseling. Well, had that been somebody else, you'd have probably got more than just counseling.
But
so
hang on.
Guys might want to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, thanks for the tip. Thanks a lot, man. Have a good one.
Okay. Hey, you too. Bye.
No. Wow. No way. Is there such thing as a racist VA?
Well, incompetent VA, I know of for sure.
Well, I mean, because if you look up racist VA, then everything's all Virginia. No, you do. Type it up right now. Go to your Googleizer and type up racist VA, and it'll just pop out. Everything's. It is like the biggest diatribe of VA. Talking about how everything's racist. So. We'll have our staff run that shit down, because we don't, obviously we're not going to just run shit half cocked, but we'll check it out. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
So anyways, so the Q zone, they're getting like care packages. So like if someone's got like cookies or something like that you're mailing to somebody in Kuwait, which I don't know why you would, because Kuwait's somewhat civilized. It's getting tossed into the Q zone so that way the zombies can eat them. I mean the people who are being screened for possible contagion. So
contagion. Wow.
yeah, and all of a sudden now everyone's like trying to go to Iraq. Everyone's like, "Fuck this!" They're all like leaving. They want to go do a site visit in Iraq, and they're like, "I am the fuck out of here. I don't even want to fucking deal with this shit." There's people that would rather go to Iraq than get the shits in Kuwait. Which, you know, not having the shits is a good point, anyways. But anyways, so yeah. So let me see. Oh yeah. So let me finish this report. So he, you know, the whole thing you'll see on the main page, and you know, of course, the Arson has put out a message saying that if you have symptoms of vomiting or diarrhea, notify your chain of command immediately. Vomit or diarrhea in community areas can spread the norovirus. Now here's the thing, and just my question here. There's been like misfires or some shit, some negligent discharges on walls or something. How do you not be nasty in Kuwait? I don't get it.
Yeah.
When I was there for the first time I was in Iraq, and everyone, you know, we drove because everyone had to drive back. You flew in or did whatever into Iraq, and then you drove back to Kuwait.
Yep.
I have never seen such clean fucking latrines.
Oh, dude. So
I was like, you can move into this latrine and lay down and sleep in it, and in the shower. You know what I mean? It was just from the conditions that I've came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I was there at the beginning, right? And I went across the berm, and I got when they started the leave and pass the R&R stuff. I was like one of the first groups to experience that, and I went down to the Doha. Holy shit! It was amazing. It was like being, you know, on a real base.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like fucking, you know, it was like it was weird. It was like straight freaking I was like going to a 5-star fucking, I don't know, it just seemed like it was just like, wow. You're like, damn, dude, these were field. This was before everything started getting built back up again because, you know, the war just kicked off. Even for field showers, they were like they were fucking clean, dude. Yeah. I mean, and these were powerful showers. It seemed like they were able to knock out every piece of dirt that I had on me, and to include some hair on my scalp. I didn't get it. I was just like, how? In other words, and like you said, they watched you when you went to the DFAC, and if that dude didn't catch you washing your hands, he'd make you go and wash your hands.
Yep.
Or if he saw you not using hand sanitizer or whatever, or they saw you grabbing the food without the tongs, dude, they'd jump your shit, which is true. I mean, think about it. I mean, you can remember all that shit. It's bad enough I always watch people eat. I'm like, I wonder if that food's good, and then I'll just wait till somebody goes up there and eats it. And if he's not kicking on the fucking ground, rolling in pain, and he dies, then I'll go up there and try it. You know what I mean? Why do you think they say Joe's eat first?
Because we got to know it's edible.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Joe's, you must test this out, please.
Serve two purposes. One,
then you got to take off the mask first, and then you got to eat first. What, you thought it was a fucking leadership trait? I'm just kidding, guys. Really, I'm just kidding. I don't want nobody to edit my fucking voice and say I said that Joe should eat first. No, I condone it completely. Eat first. It's just I'm just joking. Joe's, Sart's, we don't do that. I'm just joking. We do not. But the ProMass thing is legit. Joe's will take off that ProMass first.
No, it's not based on rank.
It's not based on rank. That's why you bring the lowest rank guy with you. Oh, come on. See, we're talking Cold War, tomato, shit. See, I guarantee it. If it was a bunch of fucking warrants and officers and there was a Joe, the motherfucker would be taking off rank. Oh yeah, no rank. Yeah, there'd be some fucking private.
The least valuable person.
The least valuable person, exactly. So the next thing you know, all of a sudden everybody's fucking important. Motherfucker, didn't you not do my DTS? How are you important? Take that fucking mask off. You know what I mean?
No. You failed to do my DTS.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. That's punishment. Wait a minute. Did I catch you sleeping on duty? Take the mask off. The most expendable person. That's right. Which is usually our privates. I'm just fucking with you. I don't know why I'm picking on Joe's. I didn't mean to, but yeah, I'm just saying that was a joke. That was a joke. Privates, I'm just playing. I would, you know the deal. And let's put it this way. I would never be stupid enough to move you into a contaminated area to begin with. I would just be like, we're not going
Yeah, we're gonna set up camp right
Yeah.
here.
Did you guys set up a patrol there? Yeah, we set up a patrol. You fuckers better say yes. We went to the patrol. You know. I would so not fucking. I mean, because you know when you're you know the deal. You're in a fucking convoy out there, and all of a sudden you start seeing like weird shit and vehicles sitting, but everybody's bubbly looking, and fucking animals are just like drop dead. Birds fucking flying and stuff. Yeah, guys, turn around. We're not going any further. So how was that patrol? No, it's nothing significant to report. Good to go. Exactly, Alex. You didn't complete that SSD? Take that shit off. You didn't do your SSDs, and you didn't. And you didn't do your fucking online SLC BLC. Yeah, take shit off.
We're done here.
Yeah, we're done here. Take them shits off. Anyways, go back to what I was saying. So, seeing those latrines, I never thought. I don't understand how could it get so? I mean, how could it lose control? You know what I mean? Did the Carnival cruise ship that was from Florida show up with the norovirus and it got dropped off, or what?
Right. So here's the take on it. Obviously, you're on the CDC website, and obviously it's very highly contagious, right? And easily spreads based on what we're reading, what's being provided on the site. So it would not take much if people are not, using hand sanitizer like they should, or at least washing their hands, or and taking those precautionary steps like a normal person would, to ensure that they're not gonna, die. So I could see it spreading, but to it spread as quickly as you're saying, that means there's a complete lack of care, not only amongst the Joes, but amongst the leadership to ensure Joes are taking care of themselves.
Yeah, to enforce that shit. Exactly.
Right.
Refrain from entering any areas with posted restrictions. Every fucking building there says no authorized entry. If you've been, I don't know, it's a Kuwait, so it's Arab, John, right? Yeah. So many of the personnel had contained over the weekend as a precaution, and then cleared by medical authorities as they go along. So, dude, that's crazy. You get bubble gut, and I'll be honest with you, I ate high on the hog when I was transiting through. As a matter of fact, I had never seen so much food in my life.
Oh yeah,
I
remember.
And I was like shocked because they had pulled pork there, and I was like, "This is fucking Kuwait. I thought they weren't supposed to have pulled pork here. What the fuck's going on?"
Well, they have it for us, not for them.
No, you know what I'm saying? Though, but there's the pig sitting right there in the middle of fucking everything. You're like, they got a pig out here in Kuwait. I thought it was, there was those questions that you get shoved down your throat about that stuff. You're thinking, there's a pig right there, and we're in the middle of Kuwait. Is that supposed to happen? Are we supposed to be?
But here's the other take on that is and I hate to say it this way, but the Kuwaitis are pretty progressive, and we pay a lot of money to be there, to have those bases to them, and the sofa's pretty good for both sides, so they'll probably accommodate us a lot more than anybody else would. Just saying.
Oh, okay. Well,
money talks.
Well, no, you're right. Well, I mean, the Kuwaitis did one time for Operation Desert Storm, offered to pay each soldier $1 million or something like that. What was it? The case? Or $250,000, and then they were going to give us the gold medal that they were making for us was solid gold, and of course the General Shorts Cop and all that. No, we won't take it. I'm like, bitch, you.
Yes, I would.
I would have taken it. I would have taken it. I would have said, I'm humbled. I'm humbled by this gift. We appreciate it. And then all of a sudden, look at everybody look at their LESs. Then you'll see a $250,000 credit, and then that's it. And then that's it. Then everyone have a formation, and then we get the gold Kuwaiti stuff. But it'll be signed out. Be a controlled item until you issue it. Then after that, motherfuckers will probably be shooting each other in the parking lot.
I don't say that. That sounds so bad.
No, I'm just saying. I'm so anti-Joe right now, man. Day at work just kind of fucking Joes piss me off today. There's some Joes that piss me
happens. Off. That's why we have the Article 15 and.
It's just one of those things that you don't. My thing is that I believe in. Here's the line where some Joes get the ass with. They just talking about all this shit. Would you take a fucking ass chewing, or would you want me to fucking? Or would you want to waste our time by doing paper and fucking reducing you in rank? What would you like? Would you like a good ass chewing? And granted, it wasn't really an ass chewing. It was just like fucking talking. It was just like, hey, dude, come here. I can't be too specific on what it is because it would reveal which multi-star headquarters I work in. But it has something to do with TRADOC. How about that? And it was just something that was, it was just like, dude, are you fucking for real? And it was just, I don't know, it's just something that was out of character for that person. He was just like, well, this, and this. We got to do this, and this. I go, yeah, but that's not the process and how we do it, man. Well, no, the thing is that we do it like this, and if we do it like that, we do it like this. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't realize you went to the different center of excellence that I went to. Please indulge yourself with your. And I was just being sarcastic. Indulge yourself with your petty bullshit, and then give that to the boss and see what he fucking says. Meanwhile, it's got to go through me, and I got a red pen and ready again. So he got pissed off because I red inked the fuck out of it. English is my second language, but when my ass is correcting your English, you're fucked up. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with your yeah, exactly that. I gotta get a freaking Ferrari, that Kuwaiti shit. Dude, yeah, I'm just like. So anyway, so the Joe thing just kind of gave me the ass.
Yeah.
It's fucking just. Ugh.
But so while we're on that real quick, so and that's you bring up a valid point there about paperwork versus an ass chewing and maybe a quick smoke section, right?
Not only smoke Joes. I'm not. I have exceeded the point of first sergeanting. So at that point, my role, I'm supposed to have people who are professionals working around me, right?
Right.
And so I said, no, I'm not at TRADOC. It just has to do with TRADOC, Tony. So it's just one of those things to where the things that I have to do has to go to TRADOC, and TRADOC is of anal as they are. Even frogs tight asses say that's fucking anal. So that's what I'm saying. I'm dealing with TRADOC, so let's put it that way. And yeah, don't even reserve me to that amount of pogness. Don't even go there. So it was just one of those things where I feel like at this point in our careers, when you've been in the Army for a long time and you're close to my rank, it should be kind of self-explanatory. I don't know. It's almost like, dude, what are you doing? You're supposed to be having boots on, right? You can't just be running around fucking, your fucking BDUs with your fucking tennis shoes on, right? You're not supposed to do that. As a matter of fact, the boots that we have today are like tennis shoes already, so why the fuck aren't you wearing boots? That's why it pisses me off about soft shoe profiles. Motherfucker, our boots are already soft shoes. We're not wearing fucking the old boots that we had when we came in.
Right. Those were comfortable, though, as well.
Well,
once they were good.
Yeah, once they were in. Yeah. But no, I'm just like, fuck. So it was a simple. He got mad because I said, I was like, no, that's not the way it's gonna work. It's gotta go through this. No, it's bullshit, man. And he literally took it personally when it came to the fucking way the paperwork had to be filled out. And I'm like, fine, you fucking turn it in then here. So then he got pissed off. He said, I said I'm a failure. God. And I'm like, dude, we're even though you're about ready to be promoted near somewhat of what I am, then would you like that taken away? Dude, it was like, holy shit! It was like, you disrespect me, and god damn it, you're not a fucking first sergeant anymore. And I'm like, all right, and then fucking do it. Then sure shit, we got it kicked up, and said organization kicked it back. So, anyways, yeah. So, like you said, it was just an enforcement thing. How could this have happened? We've been in fucking Kuwait now since 1991. Well, I'm not talking about 1918 or 2018. Seems like we've been there in 1918. Hell, we were there in 1918. Like, how the fuck do you think these fuckers found oil? So yeah, we've been there since 1991, and now all of a sudden the norovirus is an issue. Now all of a sudden we got worried about people washing hands and stuff. Now all of a sudden, we got to set up quarantine zones.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's just kind of like fucking, my conspiracy hat gets thrown on all the time. I love conspiracy theories anyway. So all my fucking, I don't know. It's kind of like the way I see it. It's one of those, Did you know, was it the bad? Was it like Al Qaeda, or was it, you know, was it ISIS? Was it ISIS going on a cruise in Florida and then held it in or something like that, and just held it all and then decided to just like be shit himself somewhere, and then Joe's touched him, and that's how it started. You know what I mean? Who's patient zero? Because I mean, I know for a fact that if it's enforced and you know you have leaders supervise and ensure the standard, it's trust but verifies, and you're not micromanaging, you're just making sure it's happening. Micromanaging is grabbing your fucking hands and washing your hands for you. That's micromanaging. But you telling them to do that and you making sure that you do it, then it's fine. It's those checks and balances, man, dude. I just fucking I just don't fucking get how could it have had happened, and it just shows that we were not really fucking prepared for that stuff down there. When you think about it.
And then here's the other part about it, right? You look at it, not prepared, but then what does that do for, you know, the USR? Can you imagine having to report that? Yeah, I'm at X percentage because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, that's another thing too, Manning. I mean, think about it. There must have been someone had to have been more than the shits. It had to have been more. Something had to have made those soldiers that would trigger them so much to want to go to Iraq instead of stay in Kuwait and get the shits. Come on, man. You see your fucking roommate next to you, your bunkmate right there, and you're seeing them splat the fucking wall. Like, what was that movie? Cloverfield, when that chick got fucking infected by one of those things and fucking she exploded and shit. Yeah. Just like that. One of your buddies decides to Cloverfield his on the side of the wall or something. And you're like, whoa.
Really?
Bro,
Right.
dude. Really? And then, I need to go to Iraq. Why? Because Specialist Grey Cloud just Cloverfield all over the fucking the wall. Or like you're running to go to the bathroom and you can't make it.
Oh, that would be the worst.
Yeah, dude.
My question is, what about everybody that's supposed to be coming home right now?
That's
what are they doing with them?
They're quarantined. That's the whole point.
No. Like the people that are in Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever that are supposed to be coming back through Kuwait. What are they doing?
Oh, a lot of it's not going
Like,
through
are they
Kuwait. No,
not
a lot of
letting
them.
them
No,
come
a lot of
home?
them don't go through Kuwait now. There's two areas where they
Oh.
can depart from. So they can depart from Kuwait. Or they can depart from northern Iraq. Out of Erbil. So yeah,
they're still getting to go home, but I guess it's probably going to bottleneck them if they can't go through Kuwait now.
Well, it depends on what units they are, and it depends what lines. That usually the guys that are inside Iraq and Syria are the ones that are going through northern Iraq, and the guys who are in Baghdad and below. You know, they kind of break it apart. All that battle space bullshit. But if you're quarantined and your zone is quarantined, ain't nobody moving. What's up, Bill?
Right. That's my question is like, let's say, you know, just because I know some people that should be, you know, returning and should have be going through Kuwait.
Oh yeah,
they're probably not going.
No. Spanx, they're shitting all over the place right now. They're fucking, they're going through roll 4 of their fucking Charmin pack right now, and fucking holding on. That sucks, man, because it is bad. I mean, just looking. Have you reading the fucking the CDC fucking article about it? Fuck
I know,
that.
yes, I know what's going on in Kuwait, but I'm talking about the people that should be leaving and going through Kuwait. What are those guys going to do? Like, stay in fucking Iraq? Or are they going to, that's my question now. Oh, those, I mean, yeah, it sucks to suck. And everybody's gotten delayed and stuff like that. But, like, damn, how long is this going to last? I've never had to deal with that part before.
We need a patrol. We need a patrol. Specialist Grey Cloud, just no Cloverfield, and we need to take them up north. And
we need to get them out of the AO.
Let me get out of the AO quick.
But mostly it'll last until as people start to, I guess, feel better or have it run through their system and be done with it, right? Hopefully they'd move them into a second quarantine area as to not be reinfected, and they could move out after that. In theory. In theory. Or you just spray everybody down with hand sanitizer.
I will say this: hand sanitizer is a pretty universal sanitizing agent. If you get bit by bugs, what kills the itches? Hand sanitizer. You cut yourself, you cut your hand, or when you're doing some stuff in your training, hand sanitizer. You know, you got like you're doing stuff, and then you develop a wound and it scabs over, and then all of a sudden the scab breaks. You know, when you're training and shit, and fucking the scab breaks again, hand sanitizer. When you want to go ahead and go to sleep, and you're trying to fucking go some, you just get hot water, hand sanitizer. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't do that. Did you hear that? Fucking WTF Nation Radio has a new fucking challenge. It's called the hand sanitizer challenge. I said on the radio. Next thing you know, I'm gonna have all these fucking leaders call me up, bust me out. You're making so you do the hand sanitizer challenge. So yeah, I'm just asking, just freaking asking. So anyway, yeah, thanks for the report, Jose. I'm looking forward to see what happens when they, if they come back. I mean, they come back, they come back. If they don't, they don't. But I'm pretty sure Arsen is on top of that, and like I said, this is the one time that Seaburn people don't have to do USR, because now they're doing. Isn't USR like in your all's fucking NCOESs or something like that?
No. I did learn how to make heroin in my.
That's like an urban.
SLC.
That's an urban legend. That USR is, maybe somebody was clowning the Seaburn NCO, but that it was inside.
I mean,
it was inside the NCOES course. That every NCOES, like, you guys don't know anything about. Once you guys, that's how everybody knows. I thought, and of course, because if you've been in any battalion. Then you see somebody who's freaking the embassy NCO or the chem officer. What do? They're always doing USR.
Right, because they don't have another job.
Well, I mean, now they are. Now they got a job now. They're deconning. You know what I mean?
They're deconning with their activated charcoal.
Exactly. Come over here.
Dawn dish soap works better.
Exactly. You're sitting there with freaking. Yeah, exactly. You're sitting there with freaking with Dawn dish soap and Mott 4 with that charcoal blotter. All right, bend over.
No, I mean, hell, they make better time. I never once had to make heroin my time in the Army, but I did have to do a lot of USR. So
yeah, see, okay, well, there you go. I'm about to say.
But what did I learn in SLC? I learned how to make heroin. Never learned how to do USR.
But you touch like live. You fuck with live nerve. You mess with live nerve agent. Live nerve agent, man. Ugh. Fuck that. I'm not claustrophobic. I've been in a bomb suit, and I've been in, Mott 4, and that doesn't bother me at all. But would make me feel fucking queasy or eerie, or I don't know, just like, yee. It would be all of a sudden they pull a vial out and they say, all right, Ice, go ahead. This is live. And I'm just going to sit there frozen. Like a person who's scared of spiders and snakes, I would be that way with live agent.
Don't drop this.
Don't drop that. Don't drop that yellow cake. Don't drop that yellow. Don't you drop that jet. So all right. So hang in there, Kuwait. It's still not a deployment, because now you just verified it's a cruise. Because every cruise that we hear about has the norovirus. There you go. Exactly. Start throwing fucking Kings for charcoal at them.
Not the pre-lighter fluid stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, not that freaking matchlight shit. Fuck.
No.
So exactly, Joe. Never go full Cloverfield. Awesome. Okay, so the next story. Now, this is kind of hitting home with fucking the deployed situation and non-deployed situation. We've already had a big controversy with the Sergeant Major of the Army already passing. Who was the big? He was the one that kind of leaked it out first, and then now it's become DoD wide, where if you're non-deployable, then you're going to be processed out of the military, right?
Right.
So now there is an Army veteran who his name is he disclosed himself. His name is Sergeant Nick Harrison, and he's a veteran of 2 overseas combat tours, and he was denied a position in the JAG Corps due to the current Pentagon policy that considers service members living with HIV non-deployable, and prohibited them from enlisting or commissioning as officers. So the issue is that he joined the military midway through college, trained as a paratrooper. After serving 3 years on active duty, he joined the National Guard and began law school. His goal was to commission upon active duty and take a position in the JAG Corps. Right. So he was deployed twice in law school, and first in Afghanistan, then to Kuwait. Oh, fuck, Kuwait. And when he returned home from his second deployment, he was diagnosed. God damn, Kuwait gave him HIV. So he came back from Kuwait and got HIV. So after passing the bar, he accepted the job in D.C. and joined the D.C. National Guard, and then he was offered a position with the D.C. Guard's JAG Corps. But then 2 years later, he was denied the position. So now everyone's been kind of swirling around this shit. Everybody's known, and this is one of the Army's. At the main, working on the main page, I know this. This is one of the Army's secrets, that really dark secrets that people. There are soldiers right now that are serving. They're living with HIV that are still in. Name your badasses. All fields. There is at least somebody serving in your organization with HIV. Now, of course, non-deployable. No shit. I could kind of hear you with having a profile for, I don't know, you got a bad knee or something, or you can't lift up something with your back, or your hand doesn't do something right, or you got flat feet. Mm-hmm. Or you twisted your ankle, so you have no running profile. But HIV is a little bit different. So these two organizations that are called the OutServe SDLN and the Lambda Legal filed a lawsuit on Wednesday with the U.S. District Court on behalf of Sergeant Nick Harrison. Now, here's the thing. There are certain and specific theaters of combat zones that you cannot come in with any type of. You can't have any syndromes. You can't have any Crohn's. You can't have any blood thinning medication. You can't do. There's a lot of shit you can't. Everyone thinks that, oh, well, you just waiver that shit. Not for something in a combat zone. Because how would you like to be, and do you think it's right that as you are getting treated and you got blown up or you got wounded or you got hit, and one of your teammates is applying a tourniquet on you, and you're fucking throwing blood and Cloverfield all over your teammate, right? And you're HIV positive, but you didn't tell nobody, or you fought. See, what I'm saying is, no, non-deployed. You can stay in. Don't get me wrong. Do your 20. Be a non-deployed unit. We need recruiters. You could do that. As long as you can live with HIV and you're good to go, and you're not gonna, there's medicines you could take and all that stuff. Yeah, why not? Fucking TRICARE can do it and all that stuff. And then when you get out, right? That's the way. That would make sense. But to fight for somebody to want to go into a combat zone would not only cause greater risk to himself, but also his teammates. I'd say more than the teammates, because they didn't have HIV. And if you ever see somebody get messed up, like get exploded, or get hit, or like when they get hit, blood gets on you. It's just like, I don't want to say it's like CSI, but it's almost like CSI. You know how they find, when they're sitting there doing something, they found like a pinhead of blood, a drop of blood, and that's how they're able to crack the case, right? It's the same thing when somebody gets hit. You don't realize it. You won't realize that you have blood. I've had, wow, what the fuck happened? Then you start checking yourself out. And you start like jumping up and down going, I'm bleeding. And you're freaking the fuck out, right? Because, there are some individuals that don't realize they get hit.
Right.
So now you got your teammate's HIV blood on you. Or it gets in your eye. Or, sometimes when you're sitting there chewing gum, you ever done that before? You're sitting there chewing gum, or your mouth is open, or you yawn and somebody's talking and then they spit, and it just like coincidentally flies in your fucking mouth, and you're like, fucker, what the fuck you doing? You spit in my mouth. Oh, no, because I served with somebody that was like that. Could not shut the fuck up, but like got in your personal space and fucking talk all like fucking Daffy Duck, fucking Dash, all this fucking shit, right? And he would just go off. And well, one time I was fucking, sitting, he didn't spit in my mouth, but I'm just saying, he hit me in the side, he hit me in the cheek. He was like, and he hit me right in the face. And when he turned to talk to another guy, it went in the guy's mouth. He spit in the guy's mouth who was chewing gum.
Oh, that's so gross.
And that's what I said. I was like, oh, did you just spit in his mouth? And he was like, oh, the guy's like, oh, fucker. And so a small melee ensued.
Spoon me.
Oh yeah, he got fucking balled up, man. They were doing combatives for a good 15, 20 minutes.
Nice.
So yeah, he was pissed because the guy was like, anyway. So the guy wasn't so, but like again, think about this. You're like fuck. Or think about you. You have HIV and you fought so hard to be deployed in a combat area and you get hit and everybody knows you have HIV and you get hit. Fuck that. Ice, are you gonna go put that tourniquet on? Let me go. Spanky, where's that fucking Mach 4 suit at? Where's that outbreak shit? You'll see me looking like fucking that dude. Was that the guy on fucking Rainbow Six Siege? The fucking guy with that level 5 fucking corn.
Yeah, you need the hazmat suits, not the Mach 4 ones.
Yeah, I need the hat. Yeah, fuck that. I'm going in straight full biohazard with that motherfucker. Sorry. You'll be all right. Barely like touching it because you can't do things in those suits anyways. The guy's got fucking HIV, so he's trying to fight to stay in. Now, again, no. You could stay in. You could stay in. Don't get me wrong, but the policy of you being commissioned as an officer to be in say, it's kind of like this. There are more Joes. The Army can afford more Joes to be non-deployable than officers to be non-deployable, especially if you're going to be a lawyer. I mean, he's going to get in the JAG Corps. So, quote, he says that I am very frustrated. Going through the ranks as a non-commissioned officer serving on the enlisted side, I can remember looking up to my fellow soldiers' eyes when I told them that I wanted to be an officer. The experience that I have serving as enlisted was something that they saw was a powerful thing. Something that I could use to change in things in the military and look out for the soldiers. The opportunity has been taken away from me. Dude. This has been a policy that's been in the Army forever.
Mm-hmm.
People with HIV normally get put in staff positions. And they don't deploy. That's like pretty much the norm. It has nothing to do with gender, has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with protection of the soldier or protection of his teammates. See, now I'm like getting all mad and I'm spitting on my arm. Thupper fucking tash. But now they're saying that they could set a precedent that HIV cannot be used solely as a reason to prevent somebody who's enlisting from commissioning as an officer. Whoa, stop right there, man. They're considering it to be unconstitutional.
What?
I didn't realize that HIV had rights. I thought it was a virus. Everyone says there should be no. So you see what's going on here. Is it right for is it right for the Army to do this, or is it wrong for the Army not to do? To me, it's easy. It's an easy answer. No. So part of his JAG application, he was required to take the his physical exam, right. and as a result, it placed him on the high level of medical readiness with no duty restrictions whatsoever. If it were not for the HIV policy, well, no shit. I know people who are completely 100% broken or have some debilitating disease or some syndrome or whatever, and they're physically fucking fit. No fucking problem. We're not talking about a PT test here. So they even say, and the guy even kind of looks at it, his outlook on it, quote, he says, it's kind of a weird situation. People look at my medical records and they say, oh, he's perfectly physically fit. No, not if you have HIV. It almost goes along with saying that HIV is not going to be required to be reported as a felony. Like you don't have to tell people you have HIV in California or some shit like that.
Right. So so that goes down to that whole willingly putting somebody else's life in danger, because technically it's a life sentence now. You just condemn that person to
exactly. That's right. Exactly. AIDS.
And that's the whole thing about it, and that's the stance that the Army needs to take and stay with, and hopefully those that are going to weigh in on this legal case and set this precedent look at it that way. You are knowingly putting other people's lives at risks when they're already taking a substantial risk just being in the military and going down range, right?
Yep.
If you got hit, like you were saying, Ice, if you got hit in the blood splatter or whatever, and you catch it and you are now HIV positive, and that hits somebody else and it infects them, your selfishness now condemn them to a life of uncertainty.
Oh, and he brings it home.
So you're gonna
So
be
you're gonna
selfish.
so you're gonna be selfish, get pissed off because you got the HIV, and you want Sergeant Ice to administer aid to you. You don't tell me that I have to. There should be like a, I don't know. There should be like a freak. You know how that big duffel blog, like that duffel blog thing. What was going on that said the reason why Marines have that red thing on their uniforms because that way they have HIV and everybody got pissed off about that duffel blog. They should have the same thing. Because you're going to come home and you're going to, anything can happen. And then you get that shit happen and you get thrown on you. You don't fuck with that disease, man. That is one thing that just can't be cleared with fucking antibiotics. And then you go home and you go and do what you needed. You're hanging out with your significant other.
Yep.
Theirs. Or whatever.
Right. And then now
you give them the HIV after you got the HIV. That's some scary fucking shit.
And here's the other thing about that, right? So you're doing that, right? And here's the problem is you don't know because science has come a long way and medicine has come a long way in combating that disease, okay, that virus. However, you don't know when it's going to go full blown AIDS.
No, you don't. And, well, I mean, there's with the technology they have nowadays with antivirals. I mean, it can mitigate it and slows it down if that makes any sense.
Right. But you still don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And so basically, you send that person to death because you were like you said, you were selfish, right?
Yeah.
Take the higher road and look out for the team.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a risk. It is not. We're not talking about we're not talking about Magic Johnson and shit and playing with the LA Lakers and stuff. The reason why he quit is he's got cut, and he even said he wanted to place his teammates at risk.
Yep.
Because he announced that he had HIV, and the next thing you know, it was like, oh shit, and he's like, I'm gonna play and all this other stuff, and everyone's like, yeah, and then everyone's like, yeah, he's a hero and all this other stuff, and then he got cut in the basketball field. And all of a sudden, everyone was like, hands the fuck off, right? What was that hero, right? I thought you guys weren't worried about it, right? And look what happened. They backed the fuck off, and he retired.
Yep.
So don't get me wrong. I don't mind. Don't get me wrong. I know people who have HIV. Trust me, and they even say, "What the fuck?" They even say because also a lot of them become hemophiliacs too. I was like, I didn't fucking know that. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know about people who have to be careful when they have HIV. A lot of medicines they have to take. If they don't take the right medicines at a secret time, at a specific time, then it affects another medicine that they have to take another time. I didn't fucking know that. Really, yeah. Some of them take 1 pill, some of them take 2 pills, some of them take 3 pills. I mean, they're careful. I mean, they're not in the military, but they were even saying, holy shit. And that's actually what got them out. Was, I mean, that they were in the military and they got out. And I'm like, damn. And exactly, and they even say, man, fuck that. The last thing I wanted to do was get wounded because you can actually develop an infection. If you guys, I mean, HIV, it's not like you're getting fucking bubble lip or some shit like that. You know, you're not fucking, you know, you're not pissing ranch dressing out your dick.
Is giving a voice to the voiceless.
No,
and taking a powerful task. Now,
it's in fuck, what is it? Immunodeficiency, right?
Yeah, it is the depletion and the destruction of your immune system.
Right, and you can't fight shit.
And you can't fight. So if you were to go to if you were in Kuwait and you got the norovirus, and you're HIV qualified. HIV.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's a what do they call that? It's a MedPros joke I used to say as a first sergeant. Y'all motherfuckers are unqualified in HIV. Go get your tests. That's the information. But think about that. So this guy was deployed as a JAG in Arsent because he fought the long fight. Yes, and everyone's trying to blame it on fucking it's an LGBT issue. No, it's not. Because even stop it. It's not. Stop claiming something that everybody gets. You know what I mean? Everybody gets HIV. It is not narrowed down anymore to the LGBTQXB WXYZ Deadpool fucking because I don't even know what to call them anymore.
the others.
Well, I mean, of the family members that I know that are of that community, they just say gay. You know what I mean? All right, cool. I was just like wondering if there was like some sort of new code I have to do or some special fucking handshake or whatever. I didn't know if there was like I have to do a coin challenge or some shit or
Coin challenge.
you know what I mean? So think about this guy going now. This sergeant, he's now a JAG. Think about it. Let's see what happens. Let's roll the clock. Let's move the clock forward and see what happens. So he gets his commission. He wins the lawsuit, and now he's a JAG. And his freaking, the next thing you know, bam, he's in Kuwait. And because all this drama that has happened, everybody knows that he's HIV positive now.
Oh yeah, what? Yeah, when you challenge this and you,
everyone's gonna know everything's gonna know that you're you're HIV qualified. All right, so you got HIV now. Then all of a sudden you're getting quarantined. Now look what problems there could be if everybody gets quarantined. And what's the first thing this guy's gonna say if he's already being an advocate for something that is like not making sense? He's gonna say it's because he's had HIV. It's why everybody's quarantined. No, asshole. It's because we got the fucking norovirus, and because you fought in fucking court to get here. Now we really got to put you in quarantine because if you get this fucking norovirus, you're gonna be shitting so fucking bad. I mean, everyone's doing it. You know what I mean? It'll fuck you up. It's gonna place it even more. Your immune system is down. Again, you're not getting anything superficial. You're not getting anything like any bumps, discharges, bruises, cauliflower, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're not getting any of that stuff. This is HIV. Your immune system will be destroyed. You get the norovirus, you're going to get pneumonia. And that's usually what happens when you get full-blown AIDS. You normally die from pneumonia. And you die. That's it. Because you wanted to be a fucking pioneer and challenge something that you thought was for the greater good. Like you said. Well, like I said, it's I challenge anybody. And these days, man, you can't even. I can't even say the shit on the radio now. Someone's gonna try to shut WTF Nation Radio down because I said that because you have HIV, you shouldn't deploy. No, they're gonna misconstrue my words and say that because you're of whatever gender specific, whatever you think to go by, or you're same sex, whatever. Now, I didn't say that at all because I don't care personally. Our policy at WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments is like fucking bam. It's closed. Yeah, exactly. What if he gets a paper cut and you're signing paperwork prepared by him? Anything. What if he dips?
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, he's got a dip bottle or something like that, and he's making privates clean up. That's fucking biohazard, man, already.
Whew. But
I'm just telling you right now, this has nothing to do with a sexual preference. I want everybody to know that this totally has to do with readiness. Look at everybody that's in the chat right now, just going off on this shit. Think about this, guys. You are in there, and what would you do? Would you treat this guy if he got wounded? Or if you were wounded yourself, and you were flailing about, and he was trying to get to you, because you get bumps and cuts and bruises to get to a casualty, anyways. Because normally when you get to a casualty, it's usually on the battlefield, through a burning vehicle, through broken glass, or whatever. And he is cut, and you are blasted. I bet you guarantee my eyeballs would be huge. My eyeballs would knock the fucking eye pro off my fucking face if he came up to me. I'd be like, all of a sudden I would get up and fucking run across the Euphrates River to fucking get to an aid station.
That'd be impressive.
Well, I mean, I was old enough to see it happen in real life. But anyways, my whole point being though is that, dude, stop, drop your act. Exactly that, Carlos. Exactly that. Brother-in-law was an officer in the Air Force. During one of his annual HIV tests, he had a false positive, and the Air Force immediately placed him on medical hold and began to chapter him out. He had to jump in front of hundreds of troops to get retested and get his name cleared. See, exactly. Damn right. It has nothing to do with anybody's social experiment that they want to do to the Army. Because right now, I'm pretty fed up with it. I'm pretty fed up of all the social experiments being done in the military in the name of a cause when they're not looking at the reason why these policies were put in. Yeah, already got the comment. He's a Blue Falcon. Joe, he's a Blue Falcon. He's a Blue Falcon. So we're going to take a break right quick, and then we'll be right back with more news amongst the active duty community. and of course main page review and all that. So shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
If you bleed, you won't feel it, and you won't see nothing at all. And you can fight, you can hide that you're naked. If you bleed, you won't feel it, you won't see me at all. You can
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We'll be sexist. We'll offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
That's right, we're back. Part 2, Sergeant's Time. This 31 May 2018, broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence with myself, Ice, and Gray Cloud and Spanky. Okay, so while I was on break, I was doing some notes. Because usually I like to have some little note cards and structure I have to talk about, and this kind of goes back to the can of worms of the non-deployables. We're talking about the HIV. The soldiers that the Sergeant Major of the Army testified before Congress that he said that we were all so many thousands of soldiers that were non-deployable. And immediately he said it was because of this, but didn't expand on it anymore. I know for a fact through the many powers of the adjutant corps individuals, there are major installations that have quite a few individuals there with HIV. So how is this going to be? How are you going to do this? Now you've created this lawsuit, because now you're opening up a can of worms for other lawsuits. So like, you are fucking broke and you can't do this anymore, and you're required to reclass. Well, you're too old to reclass because you're already senior ranking. You can't do this, so you got to get out because you're no longer physically qualified. Well, wait. You let this dude who was HIV positive, which I think me having a no running profile for a PT test is a little bit less fucking crazy than HIV.
Right.
So this is now going to, like you were saying, Grey Cloud, it's going to open up a can of worms to more litigation on anything else. Now, soldiers will have the opportunity, or at least be able to gather any groups together to say, hey, look, now you're forcing us out of a job. Damn, it almost makes it sound like we need to unionize or some shit. Ooh, did I say that? Ooh, man. We have all these individuals that speak for us, or say they speak to us, or speak for us in Congress, right? So I guess you could say there were pseudo de facto, not really unions, but our spokespeople. There needs to be some spokespeople to say, stop. This right here doesn't make sense.
Right. And here's the problem with that, right? They want to take, this guy wants to take it to the court, or in this agency has filed this on his behalf, right, to try and litigate this. Okay. Nobody is taking the time to look at secondary and tertiary effects of what that will, no matter what that judgment is. Okay, there's going to be secondary and tertiary effects both ways, because the ruling will come down, and like with all law, it sets a precedent one way or another. Okay, that's why all this garbage is reviewed by JAG when policy comes out. That's why when commanders write policy memos and SOPs and shit like that, it goes through the JAG. Because you don't want this kind of stuff, because when that ruling comes down, it sets a precedent. And what do courts base judgments on?
They're going to base on precedents, exactly.
Of similar cases, or cases in the in or near the realm of what's being tried. So let's say this guy comes down and he wins this case, right? The court sides with him. Okay. Now, granted, there will probably be appeals all the way up, depending on what level this is currently at. If that happens and he wins, right? And let's say it gets appealed and appealed and appealed, and he wins all the appeals, okay? So, old boy has to be allowed to commission, right? What precedent does that set for everybody else who's been put out,
Correct. And you just hit it on the head. It's kind of like what I was saying about commuting individuals who have been busted for weed. Once weed is legal in all 50 states, all those sentences should get commuted.
Right.
I guarantee it. I guarantee the prison system will be a lot less stressed if all those cases that will now become minor drug offenses will now become nothing, and everyone's free on weed. And I guarantee it'll be the same thing.
Right.
So the same thing should happen to the individuals that were put out. Now, obviously, what I think should happen, because you know me, I'm common sense when it comes to this stuff. If you were put out of the Army because of the ruling of the HIV, and this guy wins, they could set a precedent to where this guy could say anybody could come back and file a claim with the Army to say, well, the Army put me out, and I was only in the Army for 8 years. So I wanted to go to 20, but you put me out because I had the HIV, and so, I was going to go to 20. So you need to pay me the amount of loss, benefits, and money that I would have been from serving from 8 to from 8 years to year 20. That would be fair. I would actually be the judge to say, yep, fucking A right. If you're willing to do this, and you're letting this guy come in, and you're going to put him in the commissioning process, and you're not going to out-process him, and you're going to deploy him, you're right. This is going to open up a huge can of worms with precedents, and everybody who got out because of HIV will then say, I was going to go. Or what if guys who are like almost at their 20? I'm retiring them. That's what Judge President Ice would say. I would say you're retired. You almost hit 20 and you got put out because of HIV, and you were like 18 years and you just didn't get no pension, but you were HIV qualified and you got put out because of it. You're retired. Let's start going through the cases.
So that one I would side with, right? So they got put out for being HIV positive, or it turns into from HIV to AIDS, and they get put out, right? They get separated because of their condition, right? Fucking medical retire them. Go back and medical retire them at that time. Does that make sense?
Oh no, because you get come on, man. When you retire, you get COLA. You get a cost of living allowance, or you get a cost of, or you get a retirement adjustment.
Hold on.
Okay.
So what they would get is from X date, like they were separated, right? Okay. Let's say we'll use a fictional example. Okay. Oh boy, like you said, oh boy gets put out at 8 years because of XYZ, right? So they backdate it, right? From the time that it gets instituted to the time he was put out, right? It backdates his retirement, adjusting for the COLA, right? And that check is cut immediately, and then it continues forward.
That's fair. I mean, I'm fair. I'm all fair for something provided to that individual. You're right, because when some people get RCP, they get severance for the amount of years they served. So I would treat that like You're right. I would actually do that. I would treat that like an RCP severance.
Yep.
And they would get like 25K or 18K or whatever.
Yep.
So
and the Army's got math for fucking everything. So you figure out what the calculations would be. Granted, it'd probably be overseen by a judge to ensure that they're not being
exactly.
So it'll be third party, and they get that severance, like you're saying, a severance package that a severance calculation is set up for those individuals.
Yep.
And they are now medically retired from the military.
Yep, and they can get TRICARE,
or
whatever you get. Yeah.
And you get a retirement check based on the current retirement system. So high 3, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And it's calculated for years in service.
Ooh. Now what about this? Ooh. I didn't think about this. Now what about the individuals that were put out for HIV, and because they couldn't afford the antivirals, died?
Family gets it.
What do they get?
Oh, family. So okay,
they get the SGLI, right?
They would get the SGLI.
Okay, and the grievance fee. The
family would get severance based on 20 years.
Yep. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. See, that's fair. I mean, not necessarily not comforting for the family that had a person who contracted HIV. I don't know.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's sad, but you know, it's fucking the fact of that disease. That's what happens. Yeah, I can see that being a notable, you know, but it would at least, but this would be the effect of letting this guy come in.
Yep.
And
it would be.
This would be the effect. This is what we're looking at. We were looking at the second, third order effect, and that would be it. You'd looking at the first order effect would be him coming in and placing himself in even more danger or his teammates in danger for treatment and all that. Because you've seen those Funker videos, right? And those guys that are in the fucking cache, or you see the guys getting treated while they're getting aided, no pun. They're getting buddy aid. And you see the mad dash. There's not nobody putting any fucking gloves on to make sure that this individual is not going to bleed out. You see bare hands stopping wounds.
Yeah.
You see guys taking their t-shirts off and then fucking using that while the blood is gushing through their fingers and getting to the aid station. You know, everyone's like, oh, you know, there were some comments about this article that pissed me off. One's a Jag. You know, there's no IEDs in the Jag, you fucking moron. And, hello? Several Jags have been killed.
Mm-hmm.
In Iraq.
Because there's more than IEDs, dumbasses.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. This is motherfuckers who join the army just to hurry up and get that fucking, to get the patch and the badge, to get the fuck out, and then they go somewhere else. Like, what's the Grunt Style Bennett guy? Only stayed in the infantry to go hurry up and get the badges, but then go to aviation so he could brag about being in the infantry. Yeah, I said that. Jose always says, make sure I take a shot at him, so I just did.
Gotcha.
There was Chief Warrant Officer 5 Sharon Stalwart, high-ranking official, the highest-ranking official from the Army Judge Advocate Corps, was laid to rest, becoming the 38th casualty of the Iraq War. And she died when she was only a passenger of a Black Hawk helicopter on November 7, 2003. So she was the JAG's top CW5. I had no idea the JAG Corps had CW5s or warrants until this chief was killed in the aircraft crash.
It's because we're warrants.
Well, I mean, warrants. You just like fucking. But what even sucked, even worse, what was worse, is that she was killed along with Command Sergeant Major Cornell Gilmore, the JAG Corps' top NCO, visiting the troops stationed in Iraq. So, and of course, you know, the air crew, the 4 members of the 101st that were flying the aircraft. So when someone says, "Oh, well, who cares?" or whatever, stop. You know, don't save your fucking jokes if you've not been there or have not seen that shit, because that's what I'm looking at. Thank you for that note, Joni. But again, it's you're opening up the most giant can of worms. It's unreal. The injuries that I have sustained, and my man Doc Madness was working on me. He'd be pretty pissed if I was HIV positive and I didn't tell him, or I was out. The first thing would come out of his mouth would be like, how the fuck did you get here?
Oh my god, that was almost perfect.
Was it perfect? Okay, I want to make sure.
Fuck you, man.
Look at that. Speak for the devil.
I was trying to get a rise. No, but you'd be pissed, dude. Come on, you've worked on me before. You've seen me naked. If I had HIV and nobody knew about it, and they were just because I was that one guy, you'd be pissed if you were like cutting up on me and stuff like that. And I close.
Yeah, if I got AIDS from you, I'd butt fuck you later just to make it fucking.
Might make it worthwhile.
Make it legit.
Oh my, they escalated quickly.
Well, once you've been
prison sex, it's not gay.
Yeah, exactly. And once you've been handled by the doc, you're he's already seen me naked, so. Oh man, drop zone blues.
Went downhill in a hurry.
Yeah. Oh man.
So now we got Doc on the horn. Doc, so your opinion on the secondary and tertiary effects? Do you see it being worse than what I've thought it could be?
Dude, I actually, like, legitimately, I didn't know that you could be in with AIDS until like this year.
No, you can't
Like,
be in
and
with AIDS.
I've been out for like more than 5 years now. I never put on gloves when I treated people that weren't boogers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, boogers are brown people, indigenous.
Anything like if you're in uniform, and if I was treating somebody in uniform, I didn't really, although it's drilled into you, like it's like go no go criteria that you put on gloves regardless of who you're treating in the schoolhouse.
Right.
But for the most part, dude, like I didn't have fucking time. Like I just didn't give a fuck about it. If it was somebody that was hit that wasn't a booger, I've treated boogers without gloves a couple times as well. Ain't nobody got time for that in certain situations.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would have been on me, you know what I mean? But I was more concerned with stopping bleeding.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. Like, it's one thing. Like, all right, look. First of all, it's a fucking. It's not. There's no decisions made yet, right, on letting people in with AIDS.
No. To commission, it's being fought against by two groups. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're
That's
blaming.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
like it's not final.
It's not final.
But the thing is a good argument to make here would be in regular like civilian law, if you knowingly give somebody AIDS, it's a crime. So
Not in California now. They're passing legislation to where it's no longer a felony.
Fuck California, dude. California is a fucking like, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah, dude.
Dude, tell me about it.
But what I'm saying is that it's there's like a legitimate like ethical foundation to criminalize witting transmission of HIV. So that being said, it's since it's like in the realm of like lawyers, that bridging that gap to say that since it's a criminalized like activity, there would be liability implied on the Army, not necessarily for allowing service members to stay in that came in without HIV but contracted it.
Well, he contracted it in service.
Well, either way, dude, like I got issues with that too. But that's personal. I don't think you should be in. You should get like whatever your fucking reparations or your fucking disability or whatnot, but you should be moved out. There's no fucking this isn't the Marine Corps where they give you a red patch to wear. And
I joked about that earlier.
I was trying to legitimately fit that into the discussion. I was like, oh man, it's too good. It's too good of an opportunity to pass it up.
Right. So, hey, Doc, let me ask you this one then. As a doc, okay. Let's say he's in your unit and he's positive, okay.
I'm not gonna be in that unit, dude.
Okay.
I mean, like it's like, isn't it right now? As far as I'm aware, don't all the like AIDS fuckers serve in the Pentagon? And they're like, don't let them out. Like they keep them in their own fucking cage.
No.
Or was it the NSA?
No.
Is that like a requirement to go to the NSA?
No, that's Fort Hood.
So here's the question I pose to you, Doc. It's along the lines of ethics. Okay. A doc knows the guy is positive for HIV. and he is wounded on the battlefield, right? Or he's wounded in a mortar attack or an IDF attack on a FOB.
Yeah, let him die.
That's my question.
It's a better way to go than to die from AIDS.
Ice.
If he dies, he dies.
Pretty much. Fuck him. He shouldn't be out there. In the
No.
first place.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Your point. I mean, look at the. We're talking about. No, look. Everyone's like, oh, that's fucked up. Ice, you said if he dies, he dies. Do you know what happens when a ship gets hit?
What if I don't have enough gloves?
No, that's not the point. No, that's not the point. You're asking.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying, but you're asking me to stick my hands in blood, and trying to revive this guy or sew his ass back up, and I can't because in a battlefield situation, come on, you're not wearing iPro, you're not wearing fucking earplugs, all the shit that they make you wear. You're not wearing a PT belt. You're fucking. But you got.
As a medic, you're required to have gloves, right?
Correct.
But I'll just say that if you're going like on a fast, quickie raid. That's like I don't need my plates. We'll be back before sundown, dude. What I'm saying is that you got if you're running like a raid bag for if you're like the medic on the objective, like actually hitting the objective, you may opt for a smaller kit, right? And as a fucking pace plan, you might have like 2 sets of gloves in there in case one rips, or maybe even 3. But it's fucking, dude, you'd have to change out gloves, not to contaminate patients, right? And granted, if we're treating like indige or some shit like that, we would keep them like separate. That would be one reason to already have a couple sets of different gloves. But it just becomes one more fucking thing that you have to keep track of. And those situations are pretty fucking chaotic to begin with. And imposing another variable like that's always going to be in the back of your mind is fucked up.
Well,
I mean, that's one thing that you almost, it was almost, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's no, you got to remember, man. It's like this. Minx works in the surgical field, and she tells us about the many protocols that she has to undergo in a controlled environment. So I couldn't, like you said, I couldn't even imagine the variables of being under fire. Movement, contact, getting out of a kill zone, vehicle movement, extract, and name it.
Dude, like,
name
look,
it.
you got gloves on, right? That's one fucking area. But typically, on your hands, yeah, you might have like some small abrasions or whatnot. That's your hands, right? But like, you're not gonna go into a fucking battlefield trauma assessment with like full face shield, fucking iPro. And the shit's gonna be usually if you're treating somebody like and they get hit when you're doing the Lord's work, there's gonna be shit fucking squirting everywhere. That's what she said. And it's more likely that the shit would get in your eyes or in your fucking some part of your like mucous membrane on your head, and it's fucked up. It's basically imposing a increased risk to medical personnel on the battlefield.
Well,
there's absolutely no fucking reason. This guy's not like the fucking Jimi Hendrix of the fucking JAG world.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fucking given special fucking treatment.
Exactly. Well, no, that's what I'm saying about like when a ship goes under an event, like if there's damage control teams, damage control teams, what they do on a Navy ship when it gets hit. If there are individuals that are stuck in the compartments that are preventing the Navy that can be saved and preventing the ship from being rescued, the men will not be saved. The ship will be the one that will be saved first before the men. You always hear about the stories about the guys like these last 3 these destroyers that were involved in all these they were bumping into ships.
Yep.
And
the one guy sealed himself in the room, saved the ship.
He sealed himself in the ship. He closed it, and he was telling everybody to get out. And he said he got it, and everybody watched him seal the door, knowing that compartment was getting filled. That's what the Navy does. That's what they do.
Dude, the Army does. Everyone does that shit too. Like as far as medevac procedures go.
I was just about ready to get into that right there. If you guys have never
it's
seen,
all about like mass casualty is not defined as like
we're gonna
by
save
a
you
certain amount of people.
exactly.
It's about how many resources you have in order to treat, and also in that category of resources is the medical personnel and their level of expertise, right? So the dude that's like in charge, the medical dude, who is like the senior ranking medical dude on the scene, is going to be responsible for determining like, hey, this dude, if I had, one fucking patient who is this multi-system trauma patient, I would be able to treat him no problem. But since I got like fucking 4, all right, like that's not even that big of an extreme number, but like let's say that they're, not all of them are that bad, but they all need like life-saving treatment. You would fucking like based on the available resources, you might have to let a dude who is easily saved with all those resources, he might get put at the bottom of the line for priority for treatment because you got to save 3 other fucking dudes.
Correct. And I was about to say, if you've not been to a triage situation, it's pretty fucking macabre. It is not for the faint of heart when something like that happens. And so
it's like an inverse of a gangbang.
It is unfucking real. And the competent medical authority is in charge, not you. So if you roll up into an event and there is somebody there who is of doctor or medical, he is the one that's telling you, pick up him, grab him, put up, does he have a tourniquet gun on? Why doesn't he have a T on? Move to the next guy. That's how quick it is.
Yeah, dude. And here's the other thing, man, like it's not like official, like DOD or Army shit, right? To mark your blood type on your extremities and shit. It's considered a fucking courtesy to medics by dudes on the team that's like, hey, I want, people to know what my blood type is if my fucking shit gets cut off. Anyway, it's on your blood tags though, on your dog tags. So it is like DOD policy to an extent.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. That's why when it comes to dog tags, that's why I don't fuck around with the dog tags. I don't put Jedi and Sith Lord and all sort of shit on there.
I do.
You know what I mean?
Because people need to know that shit too.
No, I am the Sith. That's what I put down.
But my point is that we put blood type on dog tags, right? Well, it's only one step away if we start saying that it's discrimination to point out somebody with HIV. It's one step away to saying like, I'm being discriminated because of my blood type. Because, that's fucking, some dumb fuck will eventually make that an argument. Just because they got nothing else. They can't fit into any other minority category, so they're going to be like, oh.
Well, see, that's the issue.
OB lives matter.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what he's making it. They're making it an LGBT issue when it has nothing to do with it. This has nothing to do with LGBT.
Yeah.
Nothing
In fact,
like it.
Like the DOD should take this as an opportunity to revise the current standards, and if service members are allowed to stay in after they've contracted HIV, it should be stamped on their fucking dog tags next to their blood type that they're HIV positive, as a matter of efficiency and preventative medicine.
Or have the red badge of courage like the Marine Corps does.
Yeah. That should be like, those should be the dudes on the damage control teams too.
Well, again,
They should put them like the AIDS. It's like AIDS.
If you everybody's got AIDS. AIDS. Oh, I fucking love that movie. Now again, I'm glad you see, Great Cloud. We weren't too far off the mark with fucking having Doc Madness join us about the subject. We're pretty on it. He pretty much hit the nail on the head. So we've already talking about the benefits. We're already talking about what they can and can't get. Oh, hang on. We got some breaking news. Let me open it up. WTF Nation in Fort Carson from the Red Leg News Desk. Several roads were blocked off at Fort Carson property this evening for a suspicious vehicle. The PAO office didn't have any details. The time of the news was written, other than several streets were closed down for the investigation as of 1915. The investigation is on. Going to developing story. So I guess there's a suspicious vehicle found under investigation at Fort Carson. Yep, we'll keep your ear on the ground with that, and then we'll see what's up.
That'll be interesting to see what develops of that.
Yep, exactly. It's kind of funny because lately, I mean, I don't know, most MPs have been pretty on it when it comes to something like that. Rarely have had any cases recently.
Bullshit, dude.
No, they've been on it. No, what I'm saying was that they've
I suppose.
No, they've reported. I mean, they've been quick on it. They've not. In other words, it's never been a suspicious vehicle hit the news. It's always been
like, how does a suspicious vehicle get on post?
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking on it.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about. I'm talking about how it has to be something if it's in the news, basically, because usually we get something in the inbox. And it's like the MP's towing a fucking vehicle with no wheels on it or some shit. You know what I mean? There's like something on it that you're kind of like, but I've never seen it hit the news of the. And I don't know. This doesn't make sense. We'll see what's up.
Oh, suspicious vehicle. Okay.
Well, I mean, most suspicious vehicles are towed away. It doesn't make news. That's what I'm saying.
It's basically a fucking pronoun, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, okay. So, real quick. There was a general, Army general that recently retired, or is going to retire. He recently left command. No. He didn't have AIDS. But you know what? It did raise some questions though. About I brought it up, and everyone's like quiet ever since I brought it up. You saw that conversation happen, right, Ray Cloud?
I did. That's your tinfoil hat for tonight, I bet.
Yeah, that's my tinfoil hat for the night. Okay, so a commander that just recently retired or recently left command from, I think, the 10th Mountain Division. Hang on, Major Dinner. Let me look at this. I just had the story right here. He had just left Drum. Okay. So, Major General Jeffrey Bannister. He was a commander of the 10th Mountain Division, and he left command, and he was going to retire after he finished his duty. One of his duties that he had before he was going to retire was working at with Arcent, right? Is that what it was? He was working with Arcent. Oh. He was going to go work at Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter, South Carolina, and Arcent goes back and forth to Kuwait.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on transition leave when he died. Now, mind you, 2-star. We don't have any information, of course, of what exactly and the specifics of his death. But I kind of find it how it was odd that all of a sudden Kuwait went down on a norovirus lockdown. And I gotta pull up the details. I want to pull up the details before I go fully freaking, before I go full blown conspiracy theory. Yeah, it just kind of odd because he was on terminal leave. He was on his transition leave, and he was like days before retirement. Like he was about ready to get his blue card. And I'm just like, it's kind of odd. And I know Arsent goes back and forth. Nobody knows what his status was. But if he was on transition leave, then I guess he was in transition leave at Lake Murray, South Carolina. They said he died around natural causes running around Lake Murray. Okay, so he died of natural causes. My bad. All right. He was assigned to Arsent, U.S. Army Central. It just kind of, I don't know, just the kind of the coincidence and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was going to be the story. Major General Bannister, a former commander of 10th Mountain Division, died on Sunday, and he was on transition leave. The story about the norovirus stuff was just on top of this, so it had nothing to do with it. So it's not like I'm disrespecting the guy.
Wow.
So
that's how fake news starts, man.
Oh, by me just asking questions? For me asking questions.
You're like pondering conspiracy theory out loud.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just thinking out loud.
I'm just thinking about out loud here. Man, damn it, Morty, I'm thinking out loud. According.
Did you see the one? Go ahead.
So he was on transition leave at Lake Murray. According to medical examiners, he died of natural causes. And at the time that the story was being told, there was no details on it. That's why I made the comment. He was assigned to U.S. Army Central Command, or U.S. Army Central at Shaw Air Force Base, where he worked as Special Project Officer for the Army Chief of Staff until he waited to retirement. And his top priorities, of course, the Major Lieutenant General Michael Garrett, Commanding General of U.S. Army Central, in a statement, our top priority is to ensure that the family and local support and resources they need during this emotional, difficult time. Survived by his wife Tracy and their daughter Lindsay. Before arriving to Central Headquarters, Army Central, he commanded the 10th Mountain Division and served there for 2 years, and he relinquished the command in April of 2017. So he just left command. And then he moved down, obviously, to Shaw Air Force Base. He had been previously served as also the 10th Mountain's Deputy Commanding General. So yeah, his service is pretty extensive. He began through, he was commissioned through ROTC as an infantry officer, graduating from Campbell University in 1984. He began his 34-year career in the 1st Battalion, 504th Parachute Infantry Regiment in the 82nd Airborne, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. 1st Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, and 1st Battalion, 5th Infantry in South Korea. And he would go to command 1/6 Infantry in the 1st Armored Division, serve as also the Deputy Commander of the 75th Ranger Regiment. In 2005, Bannister took command of the 2nd Brigade Combat Team 2ID, which would later become reflagged as the 4th Brigade Combat Team 4th ID at Fort Carson, and he led the brigade into combat into Iraq. That would be his 3rd deployment in support of Iraqi freedom. He went on to serve as the Executive Officer to Commanding General of Multinational Forces Iraq, and also deployed several times to Afghanistan, including Deputy Commander of 10th Mountain Division, also as Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations for the International Security Assistance Force, or ISAF, is like they call it down there. Also served at the Pentagon as the Director of Strategy Plans for the Army G357, and in addition to operations in Iraq and Afghanistan, Bannister also deployed in support of Operation Uphold Democracy in Haiti, Joint Guardian in the Balkans, and Essential Harvest. Wow, Essential Harvest went only that far back in Macedonia. So, yeah, decorated. It sucks. So, shots to you, General Bannister. That sucks, dude. See, that's my fucking fear, man. Fucking terminal leave and shit.
Don't be scared.
No.
You'll die eventually.
Well, no, that's
we all die.
No. I'm not talking about that's imminent. What I'm talking about is I got shit to do, man. I got errands to run. I got errands to run. Let me finish my errands first, and I'll be happy to kick the bucket then.
Designate cutouts to finish them for you. But that's what, dude, that sucks because that takes time too. That's its own activity, is to plan your activities or to have your activities conducted through cutouts requires planning.
Yeah, exactly.
Developing the op orders to those cutouts is it's an activity that takes a lot of time. But I don't know. As I'm getting older, I realize I need less sleep, and also, we sleep half of our life away anyway. Everyone should be ashamed of that.
Yeah, that's why I stay up all night. I only sleep for a little bit, so I got errands to run.
Shit to do. Gators, bitches.
Yeah, exactly. Must continue.
Dude, did you guys talk about this? Wasn't I don't remember. I think this was fairly recent. There's a dude, also former brigade commander or maybe battalion commander at Drum, but he was like busted in Alaska, I think, for fraud.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, like $400,000 or some like some fucking ridiculous amount. I remember it was over 400,000 because that's just like a number that's significant, you know. And I was just like thinking, I'm like, holy fuck, dude, because they showed I think it was like Task and Purpose or somebody like wrote up an article on it, but they included like a bunch of the like the evidence that was like that was used against this fucking guy, man. And he basically did like TDY fraud, but it was like so lame, man. He like, I'm surprised he got away with it for so long. Like he was doing it for a long time, and I guess he got busted because he was being like a dick to one of the fucking finance dudes. Like basically like, you know, like finance loses your shit all the time anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
He went in there like waving his rights and shit. And they're like, then it got him investigated. Like, but dude, like he was claiming like he had like a backpack full of electronics that was stolen from a TDY vehicle.
What?
Then, yeah, but dude, it's like repeated claims through USAA that he made, like totaling over $400,000. And like one of his claims was that he was moving, doing like partial duty, and his whole fucking like moving truck got stolen with all his household items. Like, that's ballsy to make a claim like that. Pretty ballsy. But yeah, don't do fraud.
Yeah. Wow.
And if you do, then pace yourself and you know, don't be a greedy bitch.
Yeah, well, that's usually what happens when they get to that point of entitlement. You know what I mean? They actually, when those individuals get involved or get busted like that, they actually, I don't know, they go all out. Like you could, I mean, would you be able to, would you be satisfied with taking $5,000 here, maybe $5,000 there, maybe $5,000 there, and that's it? And then
you don't hear about those people.
Yeah, exactly.
Get caught.
Exactly.
The guy who feels like, I've been paying my insurance bills for 5 years. For 5 years, I'm gonna give myself a little fucking deductible, a little not deductible, but like I'm gonna go ahead and get my money's worth every like 5 years or so, for 10 G's or something like that. Like, you don't hear about guys like that.
I wouldn't.
Because they're not like driving around and like, oh yeah, this other thing too. The guy had like a brand new fucking Audi SUV, or no, Audi A7 and Mercedes SUV, I believe.
Was he married?
And granted, like, I don't know, but I imagine. I think that like you have to get married once you make like field grade officer.
No.
Otherwise, people will think you're a homo.
No, it's always lieutenants. It's always lieutenants. It's the young lieutenants that get promoted to captain and they're company commanders, so that way they can have the the FRG leader look for their wives. So,
yeah, but field grade officers don't need to get married to collect BAH.
That's what I'm saying. They're already balling as it is. They're balling. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
They
don't need extra. They're already going to make BAH without getting a juicy girl that's going to like bleed them for.
Yeah, exactly. God, you know what? Let me look for this fucking article now that you're bringing it up.
It's like, why would I?
Oh, I just
why
sent
would I?
it to you.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I did.
Oh.
Doing front desk thing.
Oh, damn. Man, I mean, I was gonna skirt the subject, but man, Doc Manis went all into it, man. So.
Yeah. And he was from Jaber.
Oh, he was from Jaber.
You know, Fort Drum, Jaber, same thing.
Fort Drum,
See, I don't
Jaber.
know what these fucking names, man. Like they change all these. They give them all these like fancy acronyms.
Oh yeah, like Center of Excellence.
Center of Excellence.
I think it's the NSA trying to like play the find the queen with acronyms. Disinformation campaign. Not disinformation, but just like clutter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Information clutter.
Yeah, because this kind of went underneath the fucking radar because basically what it was is Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Demure faces charges of mail and wire fraud as well as money laundering in the case, according to the U.S. Attorney for Alaska. U.S. Attorney, wow, so he's like involved in even the civilians. So the commander of 3rd Battalion, 509th Infantry Regiment of the 4th Brigade Combat Team, Airborne, 25th Infantry Division, allegedly made over $475,000 of false claims and received nearly $400,000 from September 2014 to February of this year. God, dude, really?
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
Here's what kills
In
me.
some, like in the end, you read that and you're just like, for me, I was like sitting there, I'm like, what a dumbass. Like he totally could have gotten away with it if he was just like not a dumbass.
If it not been for those meddling kids.
Well, here's what kills me with it. Right? He's a fucking, what was it, colonel?
Lieutenant Colonel,
right? A battalion. Motherfucker, just go somewhere. You're fucking commander. Make up a fucking TDY and go.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, you're right.
Pogue's gonna pogue.
I'm gonna do battlefield circulation.
I'm just gonna change. I'm just gonna do permanent duty change.
Yeah, I'm gonna
keep
see
my
what's going
keep
on
my
here.
fraud to a minimum.
So I guess the U.S. Army Alaska spokesman John Purnell confirmed Demure's status as the commander of the battalion, which recently returned from a tour of duty in Afghanistan, but referred all of the questions to the case to Schroeder's office. So according to charging documents, Demure's scheme involved claims made to military insurer USAA, as well as American Express, and at least 7 other separate occasions. In one incident, he allegedly claimed more than $215,000 in false losses from a U-Haul van that he was burglarized in 2016 when he moved to Jaber from Fort Benning. Damn, he drove all the way to fucking Jaber from fucking Fort Benning. Damn. In a Palmer case from last
Well, yeah, dude. That's how you legitimize your shit falling out of the truck.
Yeah,
Like extend the mileage.
Okay, of course. So in a Palmer case from last year, Demure allegedly told local police that a backpack containing an Apple Watch, goods worth thousands of dollars, was stolen from the parking lot of Palmer Fred Meyer. After speaking with the Palmer police of Virginia Calvert, he allegedly submitted a fake Palmer police report written by an Officer Z. And
like that's the thing that I don't get, man. Like, why would you do that? It's not like, why would you not make a legitimate fucking police report?
Yeah, exactly. So he faked the
Even
documents.
if your shit wasn't stolen.
Yeah, he faked documents, man. Among other things, Officer Calvert advised that Palmer PD did not generate the police report related to Demure's calls, and she was not the author of the document that Chris Demure provided. She was not the author. Let me go ahead and put more tinfoil on. Another incident saw Demure making a false report at the Los Angeles police of a missing bag during a 2017 trip to God, this guy basically is like that one private, but as a lieutenant colonel that's like leaves his shit everywhere. And then just claim he's that idiot that says field loss because he's a fucking klutz. You know what I mean? So he spent most of the insurance money
But
to
he's not. He's
pay off.
actually a thief and a liar.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I can't stand a fucking thief. So he spent most of the money, pay out money to automobile loans, credit cards, mortgages, personal debts, and to include a 2016 Chevy Suburban and an Audi 2016 A7. You're right. Guy was trying to ball, man. He was balling.
Rolling around in.
So going back to the commuted sentences. So do you think every Article 15 that this guy has been having, do you think that should be
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should all be fucking
For
pissed.
sure.
So
should
all
be
this,
reevaluated.
So you think, okay, so all the Article 15s for DUIs, all the chapters and everything. So I think that's what happened. That should be the Army's punishment for bad commanders.
But dude, but the thing is that the consequences for those, all the things that he's, let's say Article 15s, dude gets put out of the Army for DUI, right? Now, let's say that dude had a reenlistment bonus that now he has to pay back, right? That's been collecting interest. And the finance Jews, the one thing that they're good at is keeping track of that interest. So what I'm saying is that, like, that's pretty standard occurrence and multiplied, per each commander that gets relieved. We have a lot of them every year for shit like that. Not necessarily sorry, that's like almost pronoun shit, but what I mean is integrity.
No, you're right. Here's the thing.
It's not.
I just assume trust. I just assume trust.
No,
I'm just saying. I just assume trust a murderer than a thief.
No, I'm
It's just the way I am when it comes to that stuff. You take.
It's not realistic to reevaluate.
No, but it's messed up that you're saying you're busting these kids for doing a crime that you're supposed to be not. You know what I mean? If you're the arbiter of their lives, I guess you would say, in the military, then everything that you've done because in other words, he did this over, like you said, Doc. He did this over a period of fucking time, and he was in charge of fuckers. I know for a fact Joe was in his organization, especially Jaber. Oh my God, man, you see fucking crazy ass shit happening in the main page all the time. So I mean, if it went from him being the commander and also the shit, and you look at him, he looks like he's that type of guy, like you said, that would sit there and say, "Shut up, Pogue, process my DTS." And then
dude, and
that's usually how they go down.
I mean, I agree that it's like morally or ethically fucked up that they would, all of the cases that they ruled on that were like relative or related to integrity shit. Those dudes should get, in a like perfect world, at least like if they have their character of discharge or some shit should be adjusted. Or believe it or not, like I think it's fairly common that if dudes get kicked out, that they because a lot of people get bonuses for reenlistment and shit like that. And I think it's pretty common that dudes with flawed character of discharge, for whatever reason, a lot of I don't know exactly how many, but I think that a large amount of that population is going to have like financial burdens as well from having to pay back their bonuses. And it's kind of fucked up though, because I don't think that there's a like realistic way to it would be, in a perfect world, you could wave a magic wand and fucking forgive the debt to those dudes and change their character of reference, or character of discharge.
No, I know, but I was just saying it's kind of messed up that this guy probably he was involved during all this fucking fraud and doing all this fucking shit, and he was probably handing out fucking those bad discharges and bad paper. That was my point. Man. You know what I mean? That's my point.
No, I totally agree with you. I was just going more, drilling down into it more, as the commander said.
Let me caveat on that.
Yeah. No, exactly. I was just like, I was just adding to it, which is out of character for me because I usually argue everything.
Wow, are you saying we're agreeing?
When people agree, yeah, dude. When I agree with people, they like start arguing back with me, just like on instinct.
And you think
like,
alike.
Sometimes
anyways.
they'll catch it,
Yeah,
they'll
exactly.
catch it like halfway. I'll be like, dude, I'm agreeing with you. Fuck. I'm on your side, dumbass.
Oh shit, we gotta take a break. We're like fucking minutes over. How come you didn't fucking throw me a break warning? Shit. We're gonna take a break. And we'll come back and talk about the main page. We'll go over main page review, And then some advice about doing your fucking NCWSs. Make sure you do your damn ALC, BLC, SLC when you have opportunity to do it. So with that,
Do your HIV.
yeah, and your HIV. So
Fucking warning shots.
Warning shots. HIV shots.
HIV shots.
Take this photograph, tell me what it is to see when you look at me. Deep into the photography, I don't really need your sympathy. Just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got? And is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier. Green beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see today. In a constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media betrayed me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Hungry for another taste. You stumble around the time you waste, and your table's overturned. Sooner or later, you crash, then you burn. I think I wanna die tomorrow. Are you gonna be with me? I think I wanna die So will you come and breathe with me? Think I wanna live tomorrow. But I wanna be with me. Think I wanna live tomorrow. Doesn't matter time. I'm out of my mind. I don't care what you hear. I don't care what you need. I don't carry around my heart just to stare and watch it bleed. I don't wish upon a star, 'cause I don't care who you are. I'm out of time, and I'm out of my mind. You can't save me if I can't save me, and you won't follow if I keep falling in, and you won't listen to what I'm saying, 'cause I'm so broke.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Part 3 with our main page review. And, of course, some of the rants that me and Great Cloud used to do back in the day with Spanky about stuff. So, anyways, okay. So, we want to, hey, look. Hey, first off, we just want to, on behalf of U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, thank you guys for your support on the Memorial Day broadcast. Thank you for your support for your Memorial Day posts on the main page. We didn't expect the reception to be so wow. We didn't expect it to be so grand, but you know what? You guys, the WTF Nation, never disappoint when it comes to stuff like that. So it was good to see you guys. So we really appreciate you guys doing. I think right there that's kicking off a tradition that we're gonna have every year now. So why not? What are you gonna do? Bend our dog tags? I mean, shit, we can do it. No big deal. So again, we appreciate everything you guys do for us on that aspect. Also, in case you kind of noticed, we are all about the kids, and we're all about vets being laid to rest with a representation from the veteran community. So, if you're gonna send the main page a GoFundMe for something that you forget you failed to do in your adult
life,
just adulting, that we like to joke about that in the office about having to get up and adult or having to do adulting like things. Don't get mad at us. We have I almost feel like doing a crazy inbox messages. Some of the stuff, because here's the reason why. Some of the stuff that we've received in the inbox because we post a kid needing a helmet. I don't know what is it with TRICARE. What is it with TRICARE that they don't fund that helmet? I don't get it.
Fuck sticks.
Yeah, I just don't get. I don't get that at all. It's just like, now, mind you, this is like TRICARE is like the experimentation. That was the experimentation to Obamacare. So that was the model. So if you really wanted to go off on that, then yeah, have at it. But my biggest thing is that the inbox of, hey, this is bullshit. How come you guys turned away my GoFundMe and you put that baby's GoFundMe up there? Now think about that statement.
The baby doesn't have AIDS.
But think about that again. Just repeating that line I get Forrest Whitaker eye when I read that because.
But the baby's unable to, get a fucking job.
Well, no. I mean, the whole point being is that that you're not as important as the baby. You have a chance to go out and get yourself out of that financial distress that you probably put yourself in. The baby doesn't have a shot. So we throw out the funds, we throw out the GoFundMe, and we also.
It's not even like we shouldn't even answer that. Like, she
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I just
immediately like banned from the internet.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Fucking
Exactly.
banished to like the Congo.
Exactly. So I kind of look at it like, did you just really ask that question? Why did you not post my GoFundMe, but you post of babies? So think long and hard. You're gonna get it denied. Sorry, we don't care. So some of the posts that we've had, little Gregory, to get his helmet. Hey, we're all the posts that we go through 5 levels of vetting. Like, you can't believe when it comes to something like this, because we just don't want to throw money out to everybody, but
right.
Or actually ask for donations, because a lot of it we don't have a bank account to just like whatever, but we do have methods and resources to assist in that funding. So we want to vet at 5. I think there's way more than I think. God, man, we have triple double check. I mean, all of us have vetted on the staff some of the stuff just to triple double check, because we do want to make sure this is legit.
And then it gets reevaluated.
Yes.
It's like it's not just one person that does a certain, vetting. It's usually like the first level of vetting is going to be when it first shows up in the inbox, and whoever's the first person to look at it will either flag it or immediately fucking trash it.
Correct.
That's a large majority of them.
Yep.
Then after that, it gets whoever is the first person that sees it, if they think it's a legitimate concern, then they present it as a case to the rest of the Jedi Council for consideration. And once it's, there's a consensus that it should be considered, at that point, there's each case is different. People with specific specialized skills required for vetting or preferred for vetting certain types of situations will be pulled in to investigate it. Once those investigations are complete, then it gets reevaluated, not by one person, but by the Jedi Council again. And then only after there's like Jedi Council like concurs with vetting results, which again, vetting is not done by one person, but by like team play. Like, it's more than just one person. It's not done. It's multi-sourced, we could almost say. And
that's what I was gonna say, because sometimes
it's not single source.
Yeah.
Info. And it's done independent of each other. That's the whole key there, is that if more than one person is tasked to evaluate it, it's done independent from anybody else on the team doing it. Although they're doing it parallel, it's going to be independent of each other. And sometimes we've had people, we've reached out to surrogates to go in and in person evaluate situations, because
Yes.
sometimes they're so ridiculous that it just seems like there's no way this is legit.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
in case it is, let's go get somebody to check it out who's physically there in that area. And finally, once it's been like, pulled for consideration, evaluated by Jedi Council, researched, then reevaluated based on research findings, and if Jedi Council, agrees that it should be posted, then, it gets approved or not approved based off of that. with the the Three Kings type of variant that we have, who would make the final decision on that.
Well, yeah, and then of course, then once it's made the cut, then it's the bosses, the big bosses that post it. You know what I mean? We don't touch it. There's no. It's the big boss.
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
posts it.
saying. It's not. It's a big deal, man, and it's if we don't have time to evaluate everything. That's another thing that you have to consider when we look through them. Sometimes you want to be able to help the person by doing but the thing is like GoFundMe, that shit is digital begging, and in addition to that, it's fucking taxable as income, and also it's just a shit show. People wait until they're like drowning, and then they like expect everybody to drop everything that they're doing to fucking help them. It's like, no, dude, first of all, you need to take responsibility for your actions. Otherwise you'll end up there. Just, it doesn't matter if you win the fucking lottery. If you can't be responsible for your own actions, then it don't fucking matter how much money you have. And the other thing too is like, people try to beat around the bush with like passive aggressive type of shit, and I have personally, I have zero tolerance for that shit.
Oh my god, I know.
I can't stand it. It's like, you're not smarter than me, and like to the point required in order to successfully manipulate me. And I'm extremely resistant to manipulation, and it pisses me the fuck off. Where normally, I love helping people. I'll go out of my way. So it's just one of those things, man. Like, digital begging, yeah, it's a fucking large portion of people that ride us. But I don't know, man. Some of those problems you can't fix with money.
No, I just the whole point of it being is that they really get the ass and are not seeing the big picture. A little guy like that, he can't obviously. He doesn't have an advocate, or he doesn't have, he's got his parents and that's it. So the little guy's got to, he's got to fight. But a 35, 40-year-old guy who's talking about some of the shit that we had got to go through. I mean, there's two responsibilities that I'm not allowed to touch, and this is just me. Is that situation when it comes to adults not adulting. I'll help the kid when it comes to kids. You best believe, any kid in need. I think everybody in the office jumps in on that. Everyone helps out a lot. But then usually you get that one that comes across that adult, and
but you got the scumbags that try to make it look like a fucking kid.
Bingo.
It's like,
bingo.
Yeah, I'm not the one who's like illiterate in contraceptive use and has 8 fucking kids. It's like, sorry, dude, you misused your fucking tax return money, and now it's your kids, and my poor kids are starving. It's like, well, so are kids in Africa.
It's got a point.
No, it's got a point. Yeah, you're right. Joe, stop having kids. This is what it is sometimes. Some troops need to stop having them chickens. Or rapid or something. You need to stop giving up them kids if you don't have a means to do it. But no, it's just I don't like, and I've been kind of like, I had my hand slapped. You're not allowed to talk to grown ups and tell them that they're grown up, because I don't have a very tactful way of telling somebody they're an idiot, and they should have not, like you said, Doc. They should not have overindulged themselves on some shit.
Generally, I don't even get online if I'm feeling like I'm short on patience for retards, because that's required to manage the inbox. And I would say that for the most part, like, I'm courteous, but I don't really hesitate to fucking call people out on their bullshit. I'm pretty direct, but I'm not like, generally speaking, I don't fucking attack them personally.
No,
But
I don't attack. It's just I'm saying that some of the comments that I have thrown at somebody ends up becoming them seeming like I'm attacking them personally when it's not. And that's when then I get ramped up, and we get ramped up, and then I get told, Ice, you're not doing this. That go and go help with the helmet. But that motherfucker had the balls to block. No, Ice, just chill. Woosah, you'll be good.
Woosahing the ice.
No. Then I'll bitch you out on the radio right now.
What? Come on.
But no, just kidding. Anyways, but yeah, so some of the stuff again that we do over the main page when we do stuff like that main page. So hey, we appreciate y'all's help. That was my whole point, is that we appreciate y'all's help in kicking in, all the assistance that you have, and of course we show the results.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you know what? Your music, the sound in the background, Doc. I want to get coffee now.
Sorry, dude.
No. It's just I'm hearing all the noise, and I'm hearing the preparation of coffee, and all of a sudden now I'm just craving coffee, man.
It's like the the AIDS analogous of acoustic propaganda.
Oh man, it spreads like a virus for the need of you having coffee AIDS. But then again, like I said, hey, we appreciate it, and we show the results. There's been a couple of result videos, result pics of the helmets. Some kids that purchased helmets. So, that's to me, I think it's awesome. Okay, so yes, that no joke. That was somebody retired that lined up all those vehicles like that you saw at the car dealership on the page. And dress right dress. He's never seen such a prouder motor pool line. Unreal. But anyways, also there's been a new phenomenon right now. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this video twice. There's been 2 videos out from this individual, Sergeant Major McGuffey, and the SVAB Sergeant Major. And he's already had 2 videos.
Dude, oh my God.
He's already had 2 videos posted, and I'm going to tell you right now, so in case anybody of the bosses are listening or any of his bosses are listening, these videos were taken from U.S. Army WTF Moment Studios. They were taken from his likeness. I guess he blocked him or he closed his page up or something like that. So he's no longer. So those videos so there are videos that have been mined. But we liked it because he just seems like he'd be a fucking cool dude to hang out with, or he'd be. Everyone's like, oh yeah, he's a CSM. I'm like, there's no way that dude's a fucking CSM because A, he's got tattoo sleeves. B, he has majestic hair. C, he has a sense of humor. And D, his soldiers respect the shit out of him.
Dude, I know I've been gone for a little while, but are we?
Are we what?
It's SFAB.
Yeah, I know he's SFAB. We're just talking about how so what?
And he's cool.
And he's cool.
When did this happen?
Well, his life experience and all that. I'm trying to get him to come on. He was a 75th Range Regiment guy, and part of his Sergeant Majordom, he had to go take the SFAB.
Oh, because he didn't.
So he's been regiment
selection.
Yeah. So he's been. So he's so when you see the majesticness of his hair, you'll see that he has come from the realm. So, but yeah. So anyways, so the videos that he's posted, or the videos that he posted on his page, that U.S. Army WTF Studios took from his page. You guys need to learn how to lock your shit down.
We've
because
had that talk many times on this show.
yes, we've had because the studios are very, very, very resourceful in taking videos from shit that you think is secured. So if you have videos that you don't want out there, and the studios hear about it, oh hey, there's this video out here, and someone says, "Well, the video's locked down, you won't be able to get it," and then the next thing you know, blink, the video's produced. It's not.
Yeah, it's basically like challenge accepted.
It's exactly when someone says, "Oh, you can't get the video." So basically, what it was is that legend has it that this individual posted a couple videos to some friends and all this other stuff, and the studios found out about it and grabbed a couple videos off of his website, and then I guess he got in trouble, or he got told about what. So he took the videos down. However, the studios have a plethora. They have videos. He's a good dude. So, trying to reach out to him to say, hey, come on to the show. So anyways, so SFAB, don't go crucifying the guy. He's not doing this because he's, this is videos that were taken from his page. So don't go nuts on him and shit. But anyways, so they're pretty fucking funny. And then the studios have thrown
still SFAB.
Still SFAB.
It's still, but dude, hey, come on. But still, no, stop at that level. No, stop.
Sheep's clothing.
No, stop right now, because you know for a fucking fact that they've had guys come out of the Realm and out of Regiment and fucking the other places that have to do that time in like units, in these kind of units, to get their time in, to get their leadership time in.
Fuck that, dude.
No, it's not.
Time.
No, it's fuck. No, it's not. Fuck that. It's true.
No, fuck that, dude. The only thing you have to do is die and pay taxes.
Well, Doc, the realm of excellence. Everyone's already. You guys are picking up on my on my linguistics. I'm dropping subtle hints. The realm of excellence.
The propaganda meister.
So the realm of anyways, yeah. So that's been trending pretty good, trending so much that when the first video came out, that the studios had snatched from him, only had 40,000 views. This last video that he has over 180,000 views. Over 180,000 views. So keep rocking. Make sure your shit's secured. Make sure your vids are locked down, because the studios will take them. All right. So that was the real quick main page review. Of course, we all know about the Jose story, the norovirus, wash your hands, and all this other shit. MPs playing fucking pool. No, the kid that was in the Army service uniform conducting pre-jump, there were accommodations made to ensure that his uniform was not ruined and still maintain the same training value. So, yeah. Anyways, it's okay. Just keep your feet and knees together. Your shoe will open. All right. So the next thing we're talking about. All right. There's been a lot of confusion. Everyone's been kind of going back and forth right now on the policy when it comes to going to the promotion board, going to your NCO PDS or your non-commissioned officer professional development schools, ALC, SLC, MLC. You actually, but you gotta pay attention to what I'm gonna say right now, because if you don't, you could end up getting yourself kicked out of service, not even realizing this because you did not have an opportunity. So, STEP. Everybody knows what the STEP program is right now, and that's Select, Train, Educate, and Promote, which basically you get selected to get promoted. You get trained through the school, educate through the school, and then you get promoted, right? That's how it works. So if you have an opportunity to go to any of these schools, because here's the way it works. You fucking go. My point being is this. Say I'm a buck sergeant. I have an opportunity to go to SLC as a buck sergeant. My unit's going to let me go. Unit slots or whatever. Name your unit, name your whatever. But you have an opportunity to go to a school that soldiers generally have to wait for. If you don't go to that school, at that opportunity that you get, you're going to have to wait until you get promoted. Of course, you have to make sure your SSDs are completed and all this other shit before you get to go. So if you don't fucking do this, you can end up screwing yourself on your time of service on how much you have. So say, for instance, you're one of those guys that that has too many time and grade and time and service, that if you don't go to this specific school, it's not a big deal. However, if you wait too fucking long to get promoted, you'll hit your RCP and you'll get processed out of the Army. This is for active duty and reserves. So if you do not take the opportunity to go to a school, the biggest thing you should do, and of course there are some extenuating circumstances. If you could go, everything's good on the home front, everything's good at whatever, and you have the opportunity to go, there's nothing else, your unit's not scheduled to deploy, go to the fucking school, save yourself the heartache. Because if you don't go to the school and your unit does get called up or gets alerted to go somewhere, or a training exercise or NTC or JRTC happens, or some bullshit fucking event happens, your unit's going to take you out there. And then there might be another opportunity that you have to go once your time is up to be selected to school through ATARs. If you don't take that opportunity, the unit by that point is going to be like, and we've all seen it in the main page, if you're an NTC or JRTC and you're out there, you ain't leaving the box. You're stuck like Chuck. So take the opportunity to go to a school if it's given to you, especially if it's an NCOES or what they call now NCOPDS. Take that opportunity to go. I've always, as a first sergeant, if there's open opportunity, and this is, the Army, I'm going to tell you right now, the Army came down on my unit because we had, guys that were rotating in out of areas, and by the time they get back, they had a PCS when they got back from the deployment. So if they did not take this early opportunity to go in as a standby, they would have been screwed going to their next organization. So I said, hey, since we're kind of like hanging around there anyways, why don't you take a packet over there and get it squared away? Now, granted, I'd get my ass chewed out for being, because the Army pays attention to that shit. The Army will say, why is this guy coming in as a standby and how did he come in? Well, it's almost one of those things so it's like kind of like a catch-22. If there's not enough students within the school, there will be a non-attendance. The school will not happen. You will not be able. The school will just say, okay, well, we're not having a class because we don't have enough people. So they encourage it at the end. So do yourself a favor as a first sergeant or a platoon sergeant and get your guys squared away. Get them ready for standby. So in the event there's an opportunity that you can send a soldier on standby, he goes or she goes. You don't have to worry about that after that, because then that soldier will knock it out. Now, granted, are you going to get some, you're literally going to ass pain from the fucking sergeant major or your first sergeant or something like that if you didn't do it, whatever. Hey, I'd rather have that happen. And the worst thing that can happen is that soldier will be qualified in his school to get promoted to the next rank, instead of getting promoted or getting selected for the promotion, having to go to school and then get promoted. If that makes any sense, it's fucked up. You got to fucking do it. Because if you don't, everyone's like mine in the gutter and shit. Chico tacos with a banana on it. Choco tacos. Choco taco. Oh, we're talking tacos in the chat. Oh, yeah. I don't mind tacos at all. Bananas of excellence. Oh, taco banana. Oh, what am I missing in the chat? Man.
Choco tacos.
Bananas of excellence.
Damn, I thought I was easily distracted.
Yeah, did I miss something about Jose? You did, John. Yeah, exactly. I was like, all of a sudden I got distracted because I'm seeing like...
No, someone brought up Offset Monkey could do anything because you were bringing up videos and it got to bananas and tacos.
Oh, yeah, the studio. Oh, yeah, talking about the studios. Yeah, don't Choco tacos of excellence. Choco taco with a banana in it. Wow, everyone's mind's in the gutter right there. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Let's get some time. Here I'm providing excellent advice to the WTF Nation on active duty issues, and all you guys can think about is bananas and tacos with chocolate in them. Yeah.
Tacos.
And I want to go wake up the kid. Let's go get some tacos. I'll probably make some. Let's see if I got some chow and meat in the fridge to cook up some tacos. Y'all want to come to the basement of the Alamo to eat some tacos? So eat some tacos. But
yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that's my advice, guys and gals. If you have the opportunity to go to the fucking school that you're being said, hey, there might be a slot. you might want to go to the school, then fucking take the opportunity. And get the thumbs up from, like I said, check your home front, make sure everything's good to go, and go.
You shouldn't have to be told that, man.
No, I'm just saying, but that's how kids are doing it nowadays, man.
I agree with you.
Kids are getting stupid about this shit. They're like, yeah, well, I don't know, maybe I should, and all this other stuff. Fuck that. Go to school. Because then you don't want to be that guy that has to get put out of the Army, and the person that was lower ranking than you now outranks you because you missed out on an opportunity. It's just the way Murphy works, man.
It's one of those things that's an exception to the volunteer rule, I think.
Yes, it is. That's the only exception to the volunteer rule.
But the other thing that people might be worried about is like taking a school and then it's not something that they actually want, you know, and then they're gonna miss out on a school that they do want, that they're waiting on or something.
Yeah, so
that could be like, I'm just saying, like, that could be a consideration, and that's something that you'd have to kind of, in my experience, is that's Met TC dependent. Like, if your unit like schools dudes or Jews like that, then by all means proceed with caution. But
no, I'm just talking about NCOESs. I'm talking about the ones that get you promoted. That's the one I'm talking about. I'm not talking about all the other extra shit. I'm talking about the one that like you have to go to get promoted to staff sergeant, or the ones you have to go to get. You know what I mean?
I get it, but for the schools guy, that's still like his currency of, you know, you fucking owe me now.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you always got to pay some sort of penance.
But just, I mean, it's something to consider as well. I think. Be aware of the mental disposition of your school's Jew.
Oh, you guys have been having your own conversation for a while, Katie. Thanks. And here I am providing information that'll help individuals out there take the fucking hint to go to a school when they're saying, "Hey, do you want to go to school? I think we have a slot for that." You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah. I missed a TV series talk too. There was a TV series talk in the chat too. Fuck. Great Cloud. Let's knock out some fucking house cleaning. Shit.
Right. Nation, as you know, we have a show almost every night of the week. We'll start with tonight. It's Thursday night. It's Sergeant Time with Ice and us guys from the main page. And we cover all things pertaining to active duty and what's going to affect the active force, i.e. the precedent and secondary and tertiary effects of AIDS guy, or HIV guy. Sorry, it's not assume he's blown out yet. And then we roll into Friday with Friday Night Freedom, and that's with my Tuesday co-host Minx and her co-host Pookie, and they're covering current events to include military and things that are affecting. More than likely, they'll probably talk about the Ivanka Trump thing and the double standard and some more tinfoil hat garbage. And then it rolls into Saturday and Saturday Night Savagery, and that's Jay Reddy and Pookie. Just tune in for that show. There's no other way to describe it here on air.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. No, you cannot.
You can't. And then we roll into Sunday with Kicking with Cause and Owl, and they are always covering current events that didn't get covered over the weekend or some breaking news. So always tune into that. That's always a good show to listen to. Those two go back and forth about topics. Then it's Monday with Ice and Flash in the Monday edition, covering current events and active duty and veteran related issues. And then it rolls into Tuesday with myself, Great Cloud, and Minx on Tied Up Tuesdays, and we cover the Gambit. And there's usually medical talk because Minx is saving the world or some garbage with her hand sanitizer splooge. Oh, see, that's what it is.
Skeet sanitizer?
The skeet hand sanitizer that Minx uses, had that been over there in Kuwait, this would not be an issue.
Yeah.
And then Wednesdays are Donza, and we're usually playing games. And WTF Nation Gaming is usually broadcasting some weird stuff that KJ does on P-Bug or whatever it is.
P-Bug.
Whatever it is.
PUBG. P-Bug. You sound older than me, bro. P-Bug.
Based on last night and the garbage with the servers we were dealing with. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of drama going on with the games.
So, Nation, that's our lineup. And we have upcoming guests.
That's what I'm talking about.
Friday, on 1 June, we have OPSEC Money joining Minx.
OPSEC Monkey, not money.
I said monkey.
You said money. You said money.
I did not say OPSEC Money.
Okay, all right.
I thought you did too.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure.
He's not black.
That's 2 on 1. Anyway, the OPSEC Monkey will be joining Minx and Pookie on Friday to talk about latest in tech security and some OPSEC tips for you, Nation. Our next guest is also on a Friday, and that's Will C. from Veterans of Comedy. The Veterans of Comedy is a group of military veterans and veteran comedians who have chosen to represent and support talented veterans who desire to share their gifts with the world. So it'll be interesting if we can get them to do a quick bit on Friday. And after that, it's 11 June. And that's Chris White and Bobby Henline from Freedom Hard.
Oh, I can't wait for them to come on.
Yeah, are you hard about that one?
No, I can't wait for them to come on because we've had Bobby on before. So,
well, there you go.
And so he'll be a return guest. It'll be awesome. So he can talk about his burnt days, like he likes to say. So
burnt days. And then the guest after that is on my show with Minx there, Joanne Mendoza, USMC and Navy veteran. Joanne Mendoza is now currently an author, advocate, and speaker. So that'll be a good show for us as well. We like booking them authors and whatnot and talk to them about their books and how they become inspired. So that's our lineup. And those are upcoming guests, Nation. Nice.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Oh, man. Hey, guys, thanks for coming on. Like I said, normally, shit, it's payday tomorrow. I'm so glad it's Friday Eve. Oh, God, dude.
Blotter alert.
Oh,
Blotter.
dude, I just want to fucking, It's been one of those weeks.
Fucking OPSEC money.
OPSEC. It's OPSEC money. Hell yeah. Give me some of that OPSEC money. So, yeah. How do you think the studios all learn about finding stuff and looking into stuff and all that? They use OPSEC Monkey a lot, and he helps them. And I tell you what, better lock them videos down. Better lock them videos down.
You can't lock it down, dude. Like,
no, you can't.
If we want it bad enough, you can't.
Well, I mean, I'm saying,
It'll
but
be a Russian dude with a fucking camcorder recording it off of his computer screen.
Ice OPSEC Monkey says you'd like this. What the fuck you doing, Ivan? Stop talking to me. This is good video. I took it off someone's page.
Oh my God, that was awesome. I paid very good price.
A very good price. You know OPSEC Monkey, yes? Get the fuck out of here, Ivan. Fuck, man. Give this to the studios. That is virus. AIDS. But anyways, hey guys, thanks for joining us. Always appreciate y'all coming on to Sergeant's Time. And then, we'll talk to y'all later. Shouts.
Warning shots.
Night.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.